is going to be a teaching on Romans 1 and a little bit of Romans 2. I'm just going to be explaining like what this is talking about and how this is reflected in our current time. Yeah. So I guess like I'll just talk about it, and I might bring scriptures up, verses up, but I'm not going to read the whole thing. I suggest you go and read Romans 1 and 2, maybe before this or as I'm explaining it, but definitely check the scriptures that I'm reading and talking about. But yeah, I might just quickly read from verse 20. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. So, you could cherry pick verse 20 and say, oh, this is about the atheist. Even if you read some of Romans 1, you could say, as a Christian, you could say that's about the atheists. They're the people that, they see creation. They should know that God is real. They're given up to their worldly lusts. And, some of you will, at least admit that homosexuality is not the plan of God. And you'll go, look at them, they're doing all these things. But as you keep reading, you're going to figure out who this is really talking about. And it could be you. So, so if you read into verse 21, it's talking about them knowing God, at least knowing of God. And they glorified him not as God. So that's not really talking about an atheist. And they're not being thankful to God, but they're vain in their imaginations. So, I don't know if I should just read a whole bunch and then explain it. Yeah, I might read from there actually. So I'm going to verse 22. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the corruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man, and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. So verse 23. They changed the glory of uncorruptible God into a corruptible man. So that's for the people who say that Jesus is God. Because Yeshua is the Son of God. Yeshua is his real name. They're making him that he is God. And we're told all over scripture that Yeshua comes in his Father's name, Jehovah, and that he comes in his Father's authority. He comes to share the word that his Father has given him to share. These aren't my words, they're the words of my Father. There's none good but one, and that is God. That's what he said. He didn't say that there's no one good but me and I am God, and what? What was I going to say? Actually, I'll keep reading and explain that a bit more. So, verse 24. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of God into a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator. So that establishes it even further. They're worshipping Yeshua, who was a man, more than God, Jehovah. So there's a hierarchy, and look at the Ten Commandments. Have no other gods before Jehovah. That includes his Son. You can't make the Son equal to the Father. You can't worship the Son as the Father. It's God, Jehovah, Yeshua, his Son, then man, women, children. And I know you women won't like to hear that, but that's the way it is. And it's even, that it's to do with, worship of, this is just kind of a side note, but like 4-footed beasts and creeping things. Think about Easter, for example. You got the Easter bunny. It's like a new god that's come newly up, like it's this it's just like another kind of a god that people worship by extension through worship, celebrating Easter, which is actually a pagan fertility celebration based on worshipping the Queen of Heaven, the fertility goddess. Verse 26. For this cause God gave them up to vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature, and likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in the lust one towards another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet. So that's pretty clear. It's talking about lesbian women and gay men, and it comes about through being disobedient to God. If that's you, if you're claiming to be of God and you're disobedient to God, His commandments, your guideline, you are given up to your lusts. And think about why I know at least a couple children of Christian pastors, for parents, that turn out to be gay or trans.